What's going on, guys? We're back again with another weekly motivational video. Hopefully you guys are getting some kind of love out of this. I'm just going to keep putting these out because I love helping people. You know, it adds into my coaching business that I do as well. I currently have, about a good few clients that I work with every single day. For the most part, I mostly just kind of watch how they grow or lose weight when it comes to muscle growth and stuff like that. So I like to talk about these motivational videos. But today, guys, what we want to talk about is how to know when this thing isn't for you. Because, I always give motivation to people on how to become, maybe successful in that area, coaching or the hard work that you have to put in, everything related, the culture about the sport or the music or something like that, guys. If you know that you want to be in a certain area so badly, when do you know when to wrap it up and call it a day, guys? Now, this one is really tough for people that have super high egos or that are like, super driven and super goal orientated, because, you can kind of lead down a dark path, guys. You can lead down a path that literally, you're kind of hurting yourself. You're hurting your business. You're hurting your time, and the effort that you're putting in, really isn't going anywhere, guys. When do you know it's time to hang it up? I'm going to explain in this video, guys. So starting off, man, I'm going to start with a story. When you guys hear this story, you're going to say, yes, I have a friend like this or a cousin like this, or you'll think of yourself. I have my own stories as well, guys, about things I've not succeeded at. Growing up, I was into like skateboarding. I was into multiple things. I can't even tell you. Football, soccer, whatever, basketball. But I knew very quickly that these things weren't going to be the way I make my living and the way I'm successful at, okay? And you have to know exactly, is this something that I'm going to be successful at and being able to make a living on? Or is it just something that I like to do as a hobby? Maybe I might make a bit of side bit of money on. I have a big interest in it, because I think those two lines get really blurred nowadays with this whole kind of like, super masculine, like ego driven culture. When do you know when to hang it up, guys? Now, the story that I want to start with is basically just like, everybody knows that guy, okay? Everybody has that one friend that, is basically, a big time MMA guy, Conor McGregor, all these different people, Frank Mir, they've watched every single fight, they love the culture, they're super motivated, they train super hard every day, but and they know deep down that it just ain't gonna happen. And this isn't to make fun of them or make light of that situation, guys. This is just to really drive home the point. Maybe you guys don't know like an MMA guy, but I think MMA is one of those things that's like super popular now. Maybe they've had a few fights. Maybe you see them in the gym on Instagram. Maybe you see them like, dude, this guy's doing something, But deep down, they just know they're not going to be professional or the height of success in that area. And the issue is, guys, when you take something like MMA, especially sports, I'm going to start with, because I grew up playing a lot of different sports. If you don't play sports from when you were very young as a kid, there's studies to prove this, under like 5 years old, under 10 years old especially, you kind of don't ever develop that coordination skills, your legs, your hands. I can kind of pick up a sport now and kind of run with it. I'm not the most intelligent guy. I wasn't reading books and stuff when I was a kid. I wasn't into books. I was very into sports. So because of that, I'm able to do sports kind of okay. If I pick up a new workout in the gym, if I do a new exercise in the gym, like band squats or some sort of like alternate movement of pull-ups, I get into it fairly quickly and I'm able to kind of develop that. But if you have never worked out a day in your life, and at, 25, 22 years old, maybe you start playing sports or you do MMA, you'll be good at it. But just understand, guys, you ain't going to be in the UFC. You ain't going to be in these big organizations, because the problem is, man, the pipe dream that people sell you and the life it sells you, it makes it seem like you have to be the extreme in everything, okay? And you guys shouldn't believe that. I said this in one of the last videos. You shouldn't believe that everything is the extreme. As soon as I started this YouTube channel, it was unbelievable. People say, oh, this guy wants to be a millionaire, this guy wants to do this. Like, no, I just want to earn a few thousand a month. And it's quite easy to do that. You know, it's quite easy to make a full-time living from the internet. I mean, it's actually very easy, you know, if you just work hard. If you work 10, 12 hours a day on it, okay? I'm not saying it's easy. If you're very driven, you work hard at it for a few years, you will make it. But with certain things like sports, MMA, soccer, you know, rugby, basketball, American football, baseball, whatever sport it is, guys. I don't know where you guys live in this channel. I always make these videos for the whole world to see, okay? England, China, the US, Africa. I'm trying to make them for everybody. Whatever sport, a lot of the things that you guys do in these sports are kind of out of your control. You might get a knee injury, you know, and forget about the injuries, guys, for a second, because I could go into the injuries that, you know, that could happen when you play sports and that just end your career. Because you have to stay healthy, which isn't even up to you. Because in the gym, when you do squats, it's kind of up to you. You're in control of the weight. When you're playing a sport, some guy might crash into you. He might break your leg. You don't have control on that. But even the injuries aside, there are certain things like if you're not born genetically, you know, to play soccer, you know, on top of the fact that you have to have the good coordination from when you were a kid, it's just not going to happen, guys. You know, people have to understand doing business and making money on the internet or making money in person, whether you sell products, you sell t-shirts to people, whether you sell products on the internet, that's quite an easy thing to do because everything is in your control. I sell workout plans, you know, I have lots of clients. It's quite an easy thing to do, guys. But when you take something like a sport, or here is a huge one that nobody really talks about nowadays, music, guys. Okay, that is my sector. Okay, I do talk about music every single day, multiple times a day. I talk about politics and everything else as well because I want to delve into other areas. But when it comes to music, guys, I mean, really, a lot of these things are out of your control. You know, is your hit song going to blow up on the internet or on the Spotify, SoundCloud, and are you going to be able to make a big time living from that? You know, the percentage of that is probably not, guys. You'll probably be a good rapper. You might make a few thousand a month, like I said. But, you know, to become one of these next famous musicians, guys, like the next Jay-Z or the next Eminem, you know, you have to be realistic with your goals. I said that in a video, so I don't want to reiterate that. But if the first few albums that you put out, guys, I'll just put it to you this way. If they don't pop off, okay, if you don't reinvent yourself after a while, and let's say you've been working on it for 10 plus years, and maybe you're 23, 24, maybe you're 30, you know, and the first few albums, you know, don't pop off, guys, you know, you have to start looking at yourself and being like, okay, is this sort of a thing that I want to do and just make a few thousand a month, or am I going to be trying to reach for the stars again, like trying to become the next Jay-Z, trying to become the next, you know, J. Cole? Like, what is your goals, guys? Because a lot of the times people get disappointed, they fall off. I said that before. But, you know, if these things aren't happening, guys, after the first few years, you'll know the world will kind of give you omens. It'll kind of direct you. It sort of directs you after a while. When I was doing YouTube for the first few months, nothing was really happening. And then I said, oh, I can do this, like reactions in Ireland. And it kind of led me down this path. Like, so I was able to make some money from it. I'm able to kind of do it. But, like, guys, the thing is, man, like, if I wasn't getting after 2 or 3 years, if I still had 5,000 subscribers maybe on this channel, or let's say a bit less, because 5,000 is quite a bit, actually. That's a lot of subscribers for YouTube. Let's say I had, like, 400 subscribers on YouTube, or 500 subscribers, or 1,000 subscribers on YouTube after 2, 3, 4 years. You know, just being honest with myself, you know, I would probably not quit, because quitting is not good either, guys. But I would have to reinvent myself, because, like, who was it that said that E equals MC squared? You know, the really smart guy, again, I can't remember his name, I believe he was German. Albert Einstein, he said, like, the definition of an insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same result, expecting a different result, you know, expecting to become super famous off what you already have, guys. But it just doesn't work like that, man. You know, I'm still reinventing these videos day after day. I'm thinking of different things every single day. That's why it's so stressful, right? If I had a formula that I could just do every day and then just blow up, everybody would be rich and famous, guys. You know what I mean? But that's just not how it is, guys. You know what I mean? So to think that, you know, if you're 15, 16 years old watching this, I have some younger, 18, 20, and you think like, hey, you know, I've been pursuing sports for a long time now. Maybe it's time to hang it up, guys. It probably is, man. It probably isn't for you. Sports is a very, very specific thing. Music is fine. You can kind of keep going with it for a long time, but make sure to have your eggs in other baskets, guys. Make sure to have like maybe a YouTube channel going. Make sure to maybe to have like a different business going. Maybe you can sell t-shirts on the side. You know, make sure to have multiple hustles, guys. I don't like this one hustle, because when that hustle doesn't pay off, you know, you're not going to be happy, guys. You know, you're going to be like, woe is me. You know, I should have quit this earlier. It's like the law of diminishing, what is it? Like the law of diminishing returns. You keep putting something into it, and it's just not giving you the result. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting like 100 subscribers a day now, okay? Which is okay. It's not great. Like, I put out 5 videos a day. But if I wasn't getting that, if I was getting like 5 subscribers a day, I would have to switch up my content, work harder, do a different volume of videos. I'd have to switch up something, guys. Don't just be content, okay, with being bad, okay, with being shit. Because if you are, guys, you're never going to reach your goal, man. You have to keep reinventing yourself until you get to that goal. Like, don't just be happy that, oh man, this video did okay, I'm just going to cruise now for the rest of the time. It's like, that's not how it works, bro. You have to keep reinventing. Stay relevant, you know, with relevant topics. You know, stay relevant with your music. You know, nobody wants to hear music from 1999. Nobody wants to hear Wu-Tang Clan anymore. You know, it's very tough, guys, when it comes to entertainment. And I think now everybody is in entertainment for certain reasons, and those reasons aren't good, man. You know, you want to be rich and famous, whereas you're not doing it for the love of it, guys. You know, you're not doing it because you love the thing. Like, if you truly love something, guys, you'll probably get pretty good at it. But like I said, man, everybody knows that guy who's like an MMA fighter, and it's just not gonna happen, bro. Like, it's just not. Like, you might become a sick fighter. You might be able to beat up every single random person, you know, the average person that doesn't fight. Or maybe, you know, there's some pretty good natural fighters out there. You know, big dudes, strong dudes, whatever. You know, these big, you know, concrete jaws. But, like, you know, just because you're so motivated by the culture, you've watched every fight, you've done everything, doesn't mean that you're entitled or you deserve to get famous in this area, guys. So just understand that. You know, you don't want to be one of those guys who's constantly chasing a goal, and everybody around you, it's like eyes wide shut, is like, dude, this guy, whoo, bruh, this dude is just, he ain't gonna make it. Like, you ain't gonna make it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's pretty sad, because I'm not saying to quit, because I never tell my clients to quit, but if it's not giving you what you want in return, after a while, something's gotta go. Something's got to go, guys. And if it's not going to be that thing, then at least try something different in that area. Okay? I don't want to give up on YouTube, so I keep reinventing it. I try this. I try these motivational videos. Hopefully you guys get some love out of them. You know, I don't keep trying the same thing over and over, guys, because it gets boring after a while. You know, how many times can you do a leg lock? You know, how many times can you do, you know, hip on Sayanaga, like hip throw or something? You know, how many times can you do these things? It's like, it gets repetitive and it gets boring and dull. So really focus on, is this actually for me? Is this a realistic goal? You know, I'm pursuing basketball for the last 15 years. You know, I'm 5'3". You know what I mean? I may have some sort of athleticism. I'm quite good, but let me try this as well. Let me try this. Keep trying different things, guys. Don't quit. Try different things. You understand? That's my tip for the day, guys. Don't ever quit, like, per se, because quitting, you'll feel like you quit it on yourself, guys. You know, the only things that you guys can live with is your soul and your integrity, okay? If you sell those things, you have nothing in this life, okay? Because you really own nothing, like cars, you know, money. You own nothing really in this world. Your house, your girlfriend, whatever. You don't own anything. The only thing you own is your soul and your integrity. So try different things, guys. Don't just give up and say, oh, I can't do that. And then for the rest of your life, I could have been a football player, but I hurt my knee. It's like, big dog, try something else. You might be good at something else. There's a famous quote. It's like, on the way to your dream, you'll find like another dream or something. So you might, on the way to that dream that you're pursuing, you might find a different thing that you love, and that might become the thing that you become rich and famous from, let's say. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoy that, man. Tell me what you think down below, if it's factual, if I'm full of BS. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.